To achieve fat loss without the need to count every calorie and simplify your routine, I've brought 5 essential tips for you to follow and achieve your best results easily. Before diving into these amazing tips, it's crucial to understand that the principle of a caloric deficit remains unchanged, as we can only lose weight and burn fat when our body burns more calories than it consumes. However, there is a way to facilitate this process without becoming a slave to the food scale or calorie counting apps, getting you closer to your goal in a way that's easier and more efficient for most people. The food scale really helps a lot, including in my current diet, but I started using it recently after having already achieved good results, simply by following the 5 tips I brought here today to help you with your goal as well. It's entirely possible to lose weight and maintain a negative calorie balance with these simple behavioral and dietary habit tips. So, let's move to the first step. Prioritize eating 90% healthy. This is the foundation of everything. When you're not strictly controlling every calorie, your focus should be on the quality of the foods. This means choosing minimally processed foods that are low in calories, rich in fibers, and proteins. We're talking about lean proteins, whole grains, and even white rice is a great option. Despite not being whole, it's a nutrient-rich food and helps us keep the body well-nourished. Also add to your list pasta, potatoes, fruits, and a variety of vegetables. These are essential for the proper functioning of the body and greater food satisfaction. In summary, seek truly nutritious foods. By following some items on this list, you'll already be a step ahead towards efficient weight loss. Adopting these practices will not only make losing fat more naturally and less restrictively, but also promote a healthier and more intuitive relationship with food. By prioritizing nutritious and minimally processed foods, you're not just moving closer to your fat loss goal, but also nourishing your body with what it truly needs. And remember, balance is key. It's not about perfection, but about making healthier choices most of the time, leaving fast snacks and some treats for a special meal on the weekend. The second essential tip is to understand when to stop eating. The question that arises is, how do I know I'm consuming the right amount to be in a caloric deficit? After all, the rule of the caloric deficit is inflexible. To lose fat, your body needs to consume more energy than it receives, forcing it to use fat reserves as fuel. Here's the secret many overlook. Learn to stop eating before you feel completely full. Construct meals that satisfy your hunger without leading you to excess. I know, this might seem challenging, especially because we're talking about adopting a simpler and more intuitive approach. This method is most often recommended only for those who have experience with diets and portion control, as these individuals already have a good understanding of how their body reacts to different amounts of food. If you're new to this freestyle way of eating, the likelihood of making some mistakes may be higher. But believe it, as you start to recognize where your point of satisfaction is in each meal, you'll be able to adjust and gradually reduce. It's much easier to lose weight with daily dietary adjustments because this way, you can maintain consistency and discipline towards your current goal. And because there's no need for drastic measures, you'll be able to maintain a good diet and achieve your much desired result in weight loss and fat reduction. In summary, the key to success in this approach is self-knowledge and the intuitive perception of hunger and satiety. It's about finding a balance that allows you to reach your goals without becoming obsessive over numbers. By focusing on nutritious foods and learning to listen to your body's signals, you can achieve sustainable and healthy fat loss. For our third tip to lose weight without counting calories, prioritize protein and focus on familiar foods. Let me explain why these aspects are crucial to your current goal. Protein is undoubtedly the macronutrient that requires more energy to be digested. About 30% of the calories present in protein are consumed simply during the digestion and absorption process. Moreover, protein is known for its high satiety capacity, meaning you'll feel satisfied for longer and, consequently, experience less hunger throughout the day. This not only makes appetite control easier, but also plays a key role in muscle building and recovery. Protein should be the foundation of your diet, especially when adopting an approach free from precise calorie control. Also, know that a high protein intake helps you tone your muscles and lose body fat even without exercising. This has been proven in various studies. And always choose foods you're familiar with. Focusing on foods you know well helps maintain a certain regularity and predictability in your caloric intake. This doesn't mean you can't try new foods, but having a base of familiar foods makes it easier to control the quality and quantity of what you consume, even without exact calorie counting. Moreover, it's worth noting that, calorie for calorie, protein is less likely to be stored as body fat compared to the carbohydrates and fats from the foods ingested. This is because the calories from protein not only need to be metabolized before turning into surplus energy, but also because this process is more complex and time-consuming, allowing for better utilization by the body. In contrast, calories from fats and carbohydrates have a more direct and faster path to becoming body fat. This further reinforces the importance of prioritizing protein in your diet and quality foods, aiming for efficient weight loss. Therefore, by prioritizing protein and choosing foods you're already familiar with, you'll take significant steps toward effective and sustainable fat loss without the need for obsessing over every calorie consumed. This strategy not only supports your goals of improving your body composition, but also promotes a more balanced and less restrictive approach to eating. And speaking of body composition, my fourth tip for you is to monitor your progress efficiently. This is crucial because without tracking exact calories and portions, we need another method to evaluate if we're on the right path, but it will certainly be simpler and easier to follow than counting every calorie. Here are some strategies. Check your weight regularly. Ideally, do this every 2 days at the same time, and calculate the weekly average and how much you've managed to reduce. This approach helps to smooth out daily fluctuations that can occur due to factors such as fluid retention and variations in digestion. With these data, you'll have a clearer view of how your diet is impacting your weight loss and if you need to reduce your food volume a bit more. Measure your waist circumference. Your weight on the scale may not change significantly if you're losing fat while simultaneously gaining muscle mass. However, a reduction in waist circumference is a clear indicator of fat loss. If your waist is shrinking, even if your weight remains the same, you're on the right track. Take photos. Tracking your evolution through photos is a powerful way to visualize progress. Take pictures from the front, side, and back at a regular interval of 15 days. This will provide a tangible visual perspective of the changes in your body, which often can't be captured just by the scale or tape measure, leaving you more satisfied and motivated to continue. Monitoring your progress is indispensable, especially when you're not using other control methods like food weighing or calorie counting. These feedback mechanisms are essential to adjust your approach as needed. If you notice that you're eating too much or too little, these monitoring tools will allow you to make the necessary corrections. Furthermore, considering a professional physical assessment might be an excellent idea. Physical assessments can provide more detailed insights into your body composition, including muscle mass, body fat, bone density, among others. These pieces of information can be extremely useful to adjust your eating and training strategy to maximize your results. And now for the fifth tip, with an important secret at the end: avoid excessively fatty and caloric foods. This tip is basic, but many people don't understand its importance, and it becomes especially vital when you're not precisely monitoring how much of these foods you consume. Foods like fried items and industrialized snacks, despite being delicious, are heavily rich in calories and fats, which makes them enemies of weight loss and body fat reduction when consumed regularly. Why avoid them? These foods are designed to be irresistible, making it extremely difficult to be satisfied with a small portion. A simple handful of peanuts, for example, can contain up to 600 calories. Imagine then the impact of consuming snacks like potato chips or sweets without precise control. The problem doesn't lie just in the high caloric density of these foods, but also in their low satiety capacity, leading to even greater consumption to achieve satisfaction and throwing away your results. If you choose to consume them, do so with control and utmost care. This way, you maintain control over the amount of calories consumed, avoiding exceeding your daily needs unnecessarily. I often say that when we control our minds, it becomes easy to control what we ingest. Take control of the situation. I know you can do it, just as I did. The secret is to choose high-quality foods, monitor progress effectively, adjusting when necessary, and avoid common pitfalls like the unchecked consumption of highly caloric and fatty foods for their convenience. So, subscribe here to stay firm in your goal, and leave your like if I helped you with a bit of my knowledge. Thank you very much, and see you soon.